Two couples live 3 doors apart. Same age, same combined income, right around $150,000. Same 2 kids, same size mortgage, same balance at 40. On paper, you couldn't tell them apart. 25 years later, one couple is retired, taking trips, helping their grandkids with tuition. The other is still working part-time, wondering whether this month's Social Security check covers the prescriptions. The gap in their retirement wealth? Nearly $2 million. Here's what's strange. It wasn't their 20s, both too broke to move the needle. It wasn't their 30s, both buried in car seats and daycare. And it wasn't their 50s. By then, the road was already poured. The whole gap opened in 1 decade. Their 40s. And it wasn't because one couple earned more, got in early on Tesla, or hit it rich with Bitcoin. It came down to 4 decisions, and none of them looked like a retirement decision at the time. That first couple, retired and traveling, that was the Garcias. The second couple, still working, that was the Reeds. Sarah and I lived right between them. We watched both stories play out from our front porch, and I'll be honest with you, we almost made every move the Reeds did. Stay with me, because those 4 decisions are something you and your partner can talk through tonight. So why the 40s? Not the 30s, not the 50s, the 40s. Because this is the one decade where 4 forces collide at once, and the decisions you make under that pressure have the most impact on whether you and your partner retire rich or spend your 60s still working. I'm going to show you exactly what those 4 decisions are and what each one costs. Hey, I'm Mike Miller, and if you've ever felt like you're doing everything right but still coming up short, this channel was built for you and your partner. Subscribe because you and your partner are going to want to be here for this. Before I show you the 4 decisions, I want to show you why this decade is different from every other one. 4 truths about your 40s. Hold them in your head, and what comes next is going to hit differently. Truth 1. Peak earnings. Your 40s are the biggest paychecks of your lives. For most couples, both incomes are near their high at the same time. That's never been true before, and it won't be true again. There's more raw material flowing through your household this decade than any other. Truth 2, heavy demands, and it's also the decade everything wants that money at once. Teenagers getting expensive, the house needing work, and now your parents starting to need help. You're squeezed from both ends of the family at the same time. That's not a failure, that's the math of your 40s. Truth 3, compounding. Here's the cruel part of the timing. $1 you and your partner invest at 42 is worth about 4 by retirement. $1 you invest at 52 is worth about 2. Same dollar, half the result. Every year you wait in this decade costs double what the same wait costs you in your 50s. Truth 4, wealth is income retained. It's not about what you bring in. It's about what you and your partner intentionally decide to save and invest for your future selves. And that's where the 40s get dangerous, because the money is bigger than ever, the demands are louder than ever, and the decisions that drain it don't look like drains. They look like upgrades. Sarah and I were one of those couples. We didn't know what each other's 401k looked like until we were 42, and we're not unusual. Fidelity's Couples and Money Study found that more than a third of spouses don't know what their partner earns, and more than half don't agree on how much they need to save for retirement. If you don't know the number coming in, you can't protect the number going out. But here's what nobody tells you about that. Most couples think their problem is income. If we just made more, the problem goes away. It's the most natural thought in the world. Earn your way out of it. But when you watch 2 households that earn the same money make different decisions over a decade and end up nearly $2 million apart in retirement wealth, you realize the gap doesn't come from income. It comes from 4 decisions that have nothing to do with how hard either family worked. And the strange thing about all 4 of them, each one felt completely reasonable at the time. That's the part that should get your attention, Because if they felt reasonable, you might be making them right now and not know it. The couple who retires nearly $2 million behind didn't blow their money. They made 4 calls that each felt completely responsible at the time, even wise. Together, those 4 calls cost nearly $2 million in retirement wealth. The couple who retires rich didn't earn more. They just made 4 slightly different calls on the exact same decisions. I'm going to show you both versions and exactly what each one cost. 4 decisions. Here they are, one at a time. Decision 1, the house. You're 42, both incomes are up, the house you're in is fine, but there's a better one 2 neighborhoods over. More space, a pool, a guest bedroom for when the in-laws visit twice a year. The mortgage is bigger, but you can handle it. The Reeds said yes to that house. The Garcias stayed put. And here's what most couples don't see when they make this call. A 2024 TD Bank survey found 1 in 3 homeowners has reduced or stopped retirement contributions to cover housing costs. The Reeds were one of them. Their monthly payment jumped about $2,000. Their retirement contribution quietly dropped from 12 to 7. You want to know what 5 percentage points costs over 25 years? $500,000. The Garcia's house wasn't impressive. Their contribution never moved, and the neighborhood they didn't move to paid for something better than a pool. But the house was just the first one. The second decision costs less and sneaks up on you faster. Decision 2, the cars. This one sneaks up on you. Nobody sits down and decides to sacrifice their retirement for a car. It just happens. One payment at a time, twice, on a permanent cycle nobody adds up together. The Reeds drove new, both of them. 2 payments, financed, replaced every few years. They had plenty of company. Cox Automotive found that 43% of new cars sold in 2024 went to households earning $150,000 or more. And Edmunds reports that more than 20% of new car buyers are now paying over $1,000 a month. 2 of those payments running at the same time is your retirement. The Garcias bought 3-year-olds certified pre-owned, paid them off early, drove them until they weren't worth fixing. How many couples do you know who've gone a single year without a car payment? That's the point. The difference in what went to retirement instead by 65? Roughly $150,000. Not because they drove worse cars, because they stopped treating a car payment as a permanent line item. Now here's the one I almost can't tell you about because it's the decision that feels the most like love. Decision 3, the college pull. This is the hardest one because it doesn't feel like a financial decision. It feels like a parenting decision, and that makes it almost impossible to get right. The Reed's daughter got into a school, not an unreasonable school, a school that cost $52,000 a year. They had $14,000 in the 529. They looked at each other and couldn't be the one to say no. So they took the Parent Plus loan, 2 of them. They paused retirement contributions for 3 years while the tuition bills came in. Here's the part that should stop you. The interest rate on a Parent Plus loan right now is 8.94%, higher than most mortgages. There are 3.6 million parents currently carrying $115 billion in this kind of debt. And a NerdWallet survey found that 1 in 4 of them no longer expects to retire as planned. The Reeds became one of those 4. The Garcias had the same conversation at the same kitchen table. They redirected their son to the in-state school with a scholarship. Their kid was disappointed but got over it quickly. They never paused $1 of contributions. You want to know what that one conversation was worth by retirement? Roughly $200,000. Not because they love their kid less, because they didn't let the guilt make a $200,000 decision for them. And then there's the one nobody decides at all. Decision 4. The debt. This is the one that hides in plain sight. The Reeds carried credit card balances. Nothing dramatic, nothing that felt out of control. Just 2 cards, both revolving, both carrying a balance month to month. The average credit card interest rate right now is over 22%. For a couple, that's thousands of dollars working against you silently at a rate 3 times higher than what your retirement account is earning for you. When's the last time you and your partner actually looked at what your credit cards are costing you? Not the balance, the interest. Every dollar going to credit card interest at 22% is a dollar not going to retirement at 7%. Over 25 years, that gap compounds into roughly $200,000. The Garcias treated their credit card debt like a fire. They attacked it in year 1 of their 40s, cleared the balances, and redirected every freed-up payment straight into retirement. Same money, different destination. And the destination mattered more than the amount. Now let's put the numbers together, because this is where it gets real. The Garcias and the Reeds at 40 were dead even. Both households, combined income around $150,000, both with about $165,000 saved. Identical starting line. The Reeds made all 4 of those calls. The bigger house, the new cars, the college pull, the revolving debt. Never recklessly, reasonably. Every single time. The Garcias made different calls on all 4. Same income, same decade, same 2 kids. By 65, the Garcias have approximately $2.8 million in total retirement wealth. The Reeds have approximately $985,000. The gap between those 2 kitchens, same block, same paycheck, same starting line, nearly $2 million. Now, here's what I want you to sit with. The Reeds' $985,000 sounds like a lot, and on the day they retire, it might feel like it. But at a standard 4% withdrawal rate, that's $39,000 a year. Add Social Security, and they're living on roughly $74,000 combined, with a mortgage that still has years on it, and healthcare costs that only go one direction after 70. And here's the part that stings the most. The Reeds didn't enjoy their 40s any more than the Garcias did. No better trips, no more fun, their house was nicer, their cars were newer, their daughter went to the school she wanted. The upgrades stopped feeling like upgrades about 18 months in, but the cost kept compounding for 25 years. The 4 decisions cost them everything. The spending never even gave them. So, here's what I want you to hear. If you recognize one of those 4 decisions in your own life right now, that's not a failure. That's the starting point. Every couple has a version of this. You and your partner get to decide what happens next. Remember those 2 couples, 3 doors apart? The only thing that separated them was 4 decisions that each felt completely reasonable at the time. Tonight, after the kids are down, you and your partner can sit down and look at which ones you've made and which ones you can still change, because the spending never gave them anything. But the conversation might give you everything.